UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer met military leaders from a coalition involved in Ukraine peacekeeping planning in Northwood in England on Thursday. According to Associated Press, senior military officers from more than 24 countries across Europe and beyond met to flesh out plans for an international peacekeeping force for Ukraine as details of a partial ceasefire are worked out. Starmer said it was vitally important to ensure that any deal put in place is defended. A deal without anything behind it is something that Putin will breach. We know that because it's happened before, and I'm absolutely clear in my mind it will happen again, he said. Ukraine and Russia agreed in principle on Wednesday to a limited ceasefire after US President Donald Trump spoke with the country's leaders this week, though it remained to be seen when it might take effect and what possible targets would be off limits to attack.
See you in the planning meeting.
We're very pleased that you're here. Thank you for joining us.
Ми дуже раді, пане прем'єр-міністр, що нас запросили. Вдячні за вашу непохитну підтримку в часи скрути і невизначеності.
Prime Minister, we are very glad to be invited. We are very grateful for your support during these your unwavering support during these tough and challenging times.
Well, it's very important, and you're very welcome, and it's very good that we're at this level of planning, which is, I think, the right level of preparation. So be assured of our support.
Дуже вас вітаємо, дуже правильно, що ви тут. Ми вважаємо, що ви дуже в правильному місці і дуже правильно тримати зіграти. Запевнений ваш. Thank you.
Last weekend and 2 weekends before that, we had groupings of international political leaders coming together to provide the political alignment and the collective agreement that we need to work together to ensure that any deal that is put in place is defended. What's happening here is turning that political intention into reality, the concept into plans, whether that's in relation to what might happen at sea or air or defending borders. And those plans are coming together, and I've met some of the teams at a meeting to work through the details. But it is vitally important that we do that work, because we know one thing for certain, which is a deal without anything behind it is something that Putin will breach. We know that because it's happened before, and I'm absolutely clear in my mind it will happen again. Therefore, what you're doing here today is vitally important to peace and security across Europe, and for our NATO allies, and of course, crucially, for the United Kingdom.
President Donald Trump has suggested to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenski that the U.S. should take ownership of Ukrainian power plants to ensure the critical facilities' security. According to a White House statement, Trump told Zelensky during a call Wednesday that the U.S. could be very helpful in running those plants with its electricity and utility expertise. Associated Press reporter Amr Madhani says Trump added that American ownership of those plants could be the best protection for that infrastructure. He told Zelensky, according to Rubio and Waltz, during the call, how about considering American ownership of some of these power plants? That would be a way to best ensure security for these facilities in the long term. It's unclear if this idea from Trump is going to go anywhere, but it was offered up, Madhani said. The idea was floated during a call between the two leaders. Another topic of discussion was Ukraine's desire for Patriot missile systems, which President Trump said he would look into. The Trump administration looking to finalize an agreement to gain access to Ukraine's critical minerals as partial repayment for U.S. support for Ukraine during the war. Wednesday's call, which both sides say went well, comes weeks after Zelensky's disastrous White House visit.
President Trump and President Zelenski of Ukraine had a call today. It comes just a day after Trump spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin about the pathway ahead to ending the 3-year-old conflict in Ukraine. One of the things that came up in the call with Zelensky today was a desire for air defense systems for Ukraine. Trump told Zelensky that he would look into it. Zelensky particularly wants Patriot missile systems. Another sort of interesting aspect of the call was on power plants, which is an issue, particularly with one big nuclear power plant in southern Ukraine that was taken over early in the war by Russia. And now today, Trump had an interesting suggestion. He told Zelensky, according to Rubio and Waltz during the call, how about considering American ownership of some of these power plants, that would be a way to best ensure security for these facilities in the long term. It's unclear if this idea from Trump is going to go anywhere, but it was offered up. Another aspect of the talks has been Putin's desire for all foreign intelligence sharing and defense aid to Ukraine to end immediately. That's the path that he says must be met in order for Russia to consider cessation of hostilities against Ukraine. But the White House, at least for now, seems to be standing pat on the idea that they're going to continue to be sending intelligence or sharing intelligence with Ukraine.
U.S. airstrikes pounded locations under Houthi control in Yemen on Wednesday. According to Associated Press, strikes hit Sana'a, Yemen's rebel-held capital, as well as their stronghold of Sada in the country's northwest on Wednesday night, the Houthis' Al-Masirah satellite news channel reported. It also said strikes happened overnight Tuesday, though the U.S. military has not offered a breakdown of places targeted since the airstrikes campaign began. The first strikes this weekend killed at least 53 people, including children, and wounded others. As the strikes hit, Trump wrote on his Truth Social website that tremendous damage has been inflicted upon the Houthi barbarians. Watch how it will get progressively worse. It's not even a fair fight, and never will be, Trump added. They will be completely annihilated. Meanwhile, Trump again warned Iran not to arm the Houthis, claiming without offering evidence that Tehran has lessened its intensity on military equipment and general support to the Houthis.
بالله خلوا الكشاف فقر يا شباب الصديق يوم